All right, so you remember last week we learned all about credit cards. This week we're going to be learning about credit card, but doing it for it. So we've got a few formulas that I want to go over first. The first one for the monthly interest rate. This one I'm going to write APR over 12. Now you might be wondering, where am I getting this? You'll remember from last week, APR stood for annual percent rate, right? That was the interest. That was the yearly interest. Now, if we want to find out the month, we're going to divide this annual by how many months in a year, right? So months in a year, which is always 12. So that's how we get APR over 12. Now, finance charge. This is a new one. This is going to be the previous balance. Right. So, oh, my bad. Yeah, it's a good thing I pulled up the notes. So it is APR over 12, the monthly interest rate. Right, that's what that is. And then you're going to multiply it by the previous balance minus payments purchases. Okay. Basically, this is the amount of money left over in the month times the amount of interest, right? So amount of money left over times the interest. Makes sense. If this were $0, let's say that your balance was $200 and you paid the entire balance and you didn't buy anything, you just paid off your balance, then you would have a balance of 0. And you're going to multiply that by the APR divided by 12, so the monthly interest rate. It doesn't matter. This could be like 500% of 0 to 0. Does that make sense? But what we're going to be doing this week is minimum payments, or just not paying off your entire balance. So there is going to be a finance charge. There's going to be extra money that you have to pay based on the interest. Okay, and then new balance is going to be previous balance minus payments plus purchases plus finance charge, which is what we just got here. So if you want to find the new balance, you have to first find the finance charge to be able to put it here. Just a quick review. You may remember when we learned about tax, and it was like, let's say that Johnny buys a $4 piece of pie, and he's charged a 6%. That's a 6% tax. Then if you found out what that would be, then that would be, the tax was 24 cents, because 6% of 4 is 0.24. All right. So, and then if you wanted to find out how much he spends in total, then you would just add that 0.24 plus the 4. And then you would pay a total of 424. You remember doing this like 2 weeks ago? I think this was a week 3 thing. So think of this as the finance charge. Think of this as the new balance. Because this is the same exact steps that we're doing. Just first you find out what the APR over 12 is. Great. Then you're going to multiply this by the total. So think of it as multiplying by that, right? Because you're going to get a number here after you do previous balance minus payments plus purchases. You're going to get a number. Could be 0, could be 500, could be 1,000, right? Then you're going to multiply it by the interest, like this. You're going to get this number, and then to find the total, you add this number with what you had here. So this plus what you get. Oh, I will be right back. Okay, there we go. So we're not going to worry about this for now, and we're not going to worry about this for now. Really quick, I'm just going to write it down. Yeah, I'll just write it down, but you don't need it. So I'm gonna write amount borrowed. Um, yeah, we're not gonna worry about that. We're gonna do something else, but not today. Okay. So on to question 1, which I'm gonna do, and then you're gonna do question 2, and then question 1. I think, yeah, I'm gonna have you do question 1. 2, skip it, unless you really want to challenge. But question 2, skip it because I don't really want to worry about this formula right now, and question 2 relies on it. So again, I'm gonna do question 1. I want you to do question 2, and then do question 1. And if you want to do this on a separate sheet of paper, you're free to do so. Okay, so suppose that your credit card calculates finance charges using an APR of 43.2%. So I'm just gonna do like not full-on cubes, but like basic cubes just to get the information out that I need. So that way if I look back, I don't have to like read the whole thing again. A balance of 250, decide to make a payment of 105, you buy 150 worth of shoes. All right, what'd you purchase? Cool. All right, so previous balance was 250. Payments, 105. Purchases, 150. Finance charge. I don't know. We gotta find out. The way we're gonna do that is using this. Okay, so this we do. All right, so the first step is we gotta find the monthly. Well, we gotta find APR over 12, right? And then that's gonna be previous balance minus payment plus purchase. Okay, so APR is 43.2%, but we're going to turn that into a decimal, so it's going to be 0.432. Divide that by the amount of months in a year, 12. There we go. Now, we're going to multiply that. Don't forget this is multiplication. That's what the parentheses next to it means, but feel free to draw a time symbol if you prefer that. Okay, previous balance was 250, minus the payment was 105, plus 150. First thing I'm going to do is find out what that is with my handy dandy calculator. Okay, 0.432 divided by 12. So that means that he pays 3.6% interest every month. But I'm going to keep that as a decimal, so it's going to be 0.36 times, let's find out what 250 minus 105 plus 150. Okay, 295. There we go. That's our answer. We're going to find out what that is, and that is our finance charge. Okay, so I'll just do it the old-fashioned way. 0.036 times 295. So he's charged an extra $10.62. It's not an incredible amount of money, and clearly he's willing to pay it. But it kind of sucks that he's paying extra money just cause. But that's his choice. Okay, next up, we're gonna find the new balance. Now we can because we have the finance charge. So the formula for that is previous balance minus payment plus purchases plus finance charge. Okay, so previous balance, 250. Minus the payment is 105. Plus the purchase, which is 150. plus the finance charge, which we just found out was 1062. Okay, and all of that total is going to be 250 minus 105 plus 150 plus 1062 is current balance now is 305.62. Okay. At the end of the month, that is how much he owes. Now, you'll notice he didn't make a late payment, so this did not hurt his credit. But if you don't pay off your entire balance by the end of the grace period, then you do owe interest, okay? This doesn't hurt his credit, but it's not ideal because he has to pay this extra money. Okay. So, on to question 2. Again, I'm going to have you to do this on your own, but just real quick. Payment of $125. Credit card to purchase a textbook, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so use this thing to do the table. And you'll notice this is the same person, okay? So, the APR over 12, remember, it's the exact same thing because it's the yearly interest rate. So, on the second month, he has the same yearly interest rate. So, don't forget it's at 432 over 12. Remember what we got. You can just flip the page, but I don't want to give it to you right away. And then, so the previous balance of last month was what we just got, that 305.62. Hopefully that makes sense. So I want you to continue to go from here. I want you to fill in the payments and purchases and then solve for the finance charge and solve for the new balance. Now, for question 1, this one you're going to solve the exact same way, except you'll notice that he's got an APR, or he or she has an APR of 33%, which is 0. How do you write as a decimal? Find that out. Minimum payment is 9% of the balance. We have a balance of 322. We decide to stop charging. So what does this mean? This means no purchase. Right? So as we were doing this formula where it was previous balance minus payments plus purchases, you're going to be doing that, except this is going to be 0, and the payment is going to be the minimum payment, which you have to find on your own by multiplying the balance by the percent, 0.09, to find out what 9% of 322 is, okay? So you're going to do, you need to find a new balance. In order to find that, you have to first find the finance charge and then find a new balance. You're going to be doing the same thing that you just did, except there is no purchase, and the payment you have to find first, okay? So go ahead and complete this. Let me know if you have any questions. Again, you can do it on a separate sheet of paper. There you go.